There's a story about a young missionary fresh out of school with a PhD who was signed to a older missionary who had been working with a primitive tribe for some time. The older missionary was to be the mentor and translator until the younger missionary learned the language. So the young missionary started out speaking to his congregation with these words: truth is absolute and relative. The gospel is absolute and relative. The gospel truth is absolute, but relevant only to the extent of immediate needs and concerns and aspirations which might be finalized. The old missionary smiled as he sought to translate it and then said this to the tribe: he's really glad he's here with you. And with that story, I announce my time with you and my excitement to be together with you in mission and ministry. As the pandemic was taking hold, after a while, I thought some terms seemed to be taking on a little bit too much triteness. Terms such as absolute abundance of caution. Another one is top priority. And then the last is we're in this together. Well, I began to wonder about that word together. And then I quickly found myself connecting to individuals at First Church, starting with Kevin Nelson, as he tried to train me in developing these messages via Zoom. And then after Kevin and Sarah and Isaiah came about, I started speaking to Linda, and then Anne, and then Dominic, and others along the line. And soon my connection with First Church began to take on new and vital importance for me. I reflected on the Pentecost story of the disciples being together in that room, and then after their experience, to continue to be together and practice spiritual disciplines that are such as being together, praying, in fellowship, and in service. All of that began to sink on me as I entered into relationship with various people at the church. And then another thought came into my mind as I prepared my bio for the June Spire. In that bio, I ended by saying that music and sports have been very, very important to me over the years. As I mentioned music, I recalled that I've been a part of probably 6 or 7 different barbershop quartets. One of the lessons I learned from a music professional was that in barbershop harmony, when all 4 parts are as perfectly aligned as they can be, a 5th part is created called a phantom voice. And it's that phantom voice which causes a barbershop chord to ring with energy and excitement. That was an interesting insight for me because as I pondered again togetherness with you at First Church, I began to see different meanings of that word, such as being together in seeking to understand each other better, in seeking to be together serving a common cause, to seek being together as choosing to respond rather than react, and then being together as striving for a certain sense of teamwork and recognizing all of our contributions as being so helpful. So the word together then began to resonate differently for me as it does today. And I conclude this brief message with a story from the television news of a few days ago about Monica Salinas. Monica is a driver, a delivery driver for Amazon. And as she dropped off a package on the porch of one family, she read that the family had left a message saying that their 8-month-old son had both an eating disorder and a heart condition. So all of the supplies came through the Amazon system. As Monica studied that message and had dropped her package, she suddenly dropped her head for a few seconds and then made the sign of a cross. The family had captured this on their Ring doorbell camera and were astonished that Monica took the time in her busy schedule to be together with them in prayer. A search happened afterwards, and Monica was found by the family and congratulated for their sense of being together at that moment. So, folks, as we move together in ministry and mission, may we all look to that word for a new sense of meaning and purpose for us as the connection to the church, to Pastor Sarah and Kevin and Isaiah, and then to the God of Pentecost. May it be so. Amen.